Okay, I think the general consensus is my videos are a little more interesting when I've had enough coffee. Hello and welcome, it's Corey here, and it's been a while since I've talked about Medium on this channel, but even if you're usually here for the AI and SEO stuff, stick around for this because I'm telling you there is a lot of opportunity here. And honestly, if you are growing any kind of online business or online presence, you stand a lot to gain by getting on the Medium train. Medium being the massive online publishing platform with hundreds of thousands of paying subscribers. In truth, Medium has kind of taken a back seat in my own journey as a content creator because I've already gotten a lot of proverbial plates spinning, so to speak, between my blog and my YouTube and my membership and other projects. But I've still made a point of publishing once or twice a month because it was still bringing in some money and it was definitely helping me grow my email list. But the days of making hundreds and hundreds of dollars per article were not as frequent. Medium has been undergoing some changes in the last few months that have really changed the game in a way that is really good news for us writers. To show you what I mean, here is an article I published on Medium on August 18th in Better Marketing. When I first got this published, it was making a few dollars a day, which honestly I'm not really complaining about because it all adds up. So it had made about 40 or 50 bucks by August 29th when I got an email from Medium stating that my article had been boosted. The boost feature, by the way, was implemented near the start of the year. I think it was towards the end of February when they started rolling that out. And the way it works is some editors and publications have boosting power where they can nominate an article they think is worthy of getting boosted. And if accepted by the curators, you get a little boosted stamp on your article on the stats page. And then the Medium algorithm pushes your story out to more readers. The benefits of a boost can result in anywhere from a few hundred extra views to tens of thousands of extra views. So the next day, on Wednesday, August 30th, you can see the article made $191 in one day. In the week since, it's continued to bring in anywhere from $20 to $80 per day. And at the time of this recording, which is less than a month after it was originally published, it's made over $700. So in short, getting boosted is amazing, but this is only part of the story. The boost only accounts for part of what's going on here. You see, Medium also changed its algorithm at the start of August to prioritize reader engagement when calculating earnings, which is determined by things like retention rate, claps, highlights, comments, and follows. And my article got a ton of engagement, resulting in my highest earnings ever for a single article on a single day on Medium. For comparison, check out this old article I wrote on my fitness account that went viral about 2 years ago. This is when earnings were calculated solely by reading time. And at its peak, the article got 14,600 views in a single day, which is more than 14 times my boosted article. But my earnings for that day were only $162, which is nearly $30 less. What this means is that you can make considerably more money with less views, provided you are writing quality, engaging, boost-worthy content. And the good news here is that you no longer need 100 followers to qualify for the Medium Partner Program, but you do need to pay to play, so to speak. So you need to be a paying subscriber, but the fee is $5 a month. And I mean, I think that might be the smallest investment ever that you can make in your business with such a large ROI potential. Now, how do you go about getting boosted articles on Medium? Here are a few tips based on what's been working for me. First, submit your articles to quality publications. Many of the top publications have boost nominating power. I know Better Marketing is one of them, but there are a slew of other ones. There's no official list that I could find, but I found a great article by Christina God, who's a fellow Medium writer, and she compiled a list of them, so I'll put a link to that in the description box. Number two, spend time on coming up with a unique angle for your story. So don't write about what everyone else is writing. Quick, fluffy listicles are out. Thought-provoking personal essays, cutting-edge tutorials, and contemplative commentary on current world issues are definitely in. Here's a hack. If you need help coming up with unique angles for your articles, get ChatGPT to help you. Pick a topic and then ask it to drill down on some unique or contrarian angles to get your creative juices flowing. Next, and again, this is just based on my opinion on what's been working for me, but I recommend writing longer, more in-depth articles. Most of my articles that perform well are typically between 6 and 8 minutes of read time. So it should be a pretty meaty subject that your readers can really sink their teeth into. Last but not least, and I hate to say this, but be wary of if and how you use AI in your Medium content. AI content is allowed on Medium, but you do have to disclose that you used AI to help write the article, which is a bit of a stumbling block because most readers on the platform have this knee-jerk negative reaction at the idea of reading AI-assisted content because most people don't use AI in a way that is conducive to quality writing. And the truth is there's a really big difference between AI content and AI-assisted content, but most people don't know the difference. So even if you do use AI expertly and craft a brilliant article with it, people might see your disclaimer and then just pass on it anyway. And that really sucks, but that's just kind of the way it is. And I have experimented with using AI on Medium, and before the disclosure policy, I didn't have any issues. But afterwards, I found that people just couldn't get past the disclosure. So I stopped using AI to help me write the content on my Medium articles. Instead, I just use it for research and coming up with ideas. This brings us to the topic of syndication, because it is allowed and potentially profitable to syndicate your blog posts on Medium. But I would be very selective about what you choose to bring over. So how-to tutorials and informational articles are good examples of what might perform well, but I wouldn't do like in-depth reviews or roundup posts or listicles or anything like that. And if you did use AI to write those blog posts, I would recommend using that as a guide or a template for a new human-written version of that article. The truth is, SEO blogging and Medium are two very, very different things. And I had to learn the difference before I started getting traction on this platform. If you need help with that, I would strongly recommend Sinem Gunnell's Medium Writing Academy, or MWA. I took this course back in 2021, but she updated it at the start of the year, and I heard that she's going to add some more updates to it soon as well. But the thing is, although Medium's earnings, algorithm, and distribution methods have changed somewhat in the past year, the fundamentals of what makes a high-performing article are the same. So these recent changes actually complement, underscore even, the core strategies that are taught in MWA. So I left a link to that below in case you want to check it out, or you can watch this video next, which goes into my experience with MWA in more detail.